Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm so pleased to be a contributor here on African Diaspora News Channel. Please, as you come in, be sure to thumbs up the video, like, share, and subscribe, and support this network. Thank you so very much. Listen, family, we have just an unbelievable story to talk about today. Now, you all are very familiar with Stacey Abrams, right? Stacey Abrams, she was a gubernatorial Democratic candidate for Georgia. She lost. She really didn't lose. Her rival, white rival, Kemp, I believe it is, stole the election, really. But Stacey Abrams, along with some other Black women that did a whole lot of the groundwork, whenever you usually see her, she's sweating or breathing hard. And she's doing those things not for any known inherent medical illness, but those are a sign of labor. That means you out there working hard. Somebody talk Black to me. And working hard for who and what? Working hard for the Democrats and white supremacist political party who's promised you no reparations and nothing substantive for Black people. So y'all went out there, turned Georgia from red to blue, and didn't even get any concessions to make the Democrats or Joe Biden promise reparations, some sort of Marshall Plan for Black America, punishment for the white supremacist race soldiers, nothing like that, right? Y'all watch this. Now, I'm reading now from the Hill, Stacey Abrams nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. For what? Listen to what it says. Abrams and her organization, Fair Fight Action, were integral in increasing Black voter turnout in Georgia this election cycle, a sprawling years-long effort that culminated in the long-time red state turning blue. Watch this. Lars Heartbreaking, a Socialist Party politician in Norway's parliament, said Monday, the first day of Black History Month in the U.S., y'all listen, and the last day for someone to be nominated for the prize, that, quote, Abrams' work follows in Dr. Martin Luther King's footsteps in the fight for equality before the law and for civil rights. He says Abrams' effort to complete King's work are crucial if the United States of America shall succeed in its effort to create fraternity between all its peoples and peaceful and just society. Child, I know we're on an international global network, but you've got a member of the dominant society out there in Norway, a Norwegian sitting over here telling Black people who our heroes are, who should be celebrated, and then having the nerve to compare her and say that she is completing Dr. Martin Luther King's work. I beg your pardon. The last couple of years of Dr. King's life, Dr. King was not even talking about integration. Dr. King said that he feared that he was integrating his people into a burning house. The last couple of years of his life, Dr. King expressed regret and limitations for legislation that he pushed. He said that he talked about his limitations, and that's when he really started pushing an economic plan for Black folk. It was Dr. King that was pushing reparations and said that we are coming to get our check. You know how back in the day, the slave master used to provide biscuits, literal food, biscuits, as a prize and incentive for compliant slaves and made them happy. And so some of you funny looking political Negroes nowadays, you boule, y'all all about your individual single selves, not about what's ultimately helping the whole of Black society, the collective. You're not even accepting biscuits anymore. You all accepting a full-fledged bones. Why a bone? A bone is interesting because a bone is something that you give a dog to reinforce positive behavior. Of course, we're not calling her out of her name or a dog. We're saying that the behavior puts us in the same mindset. Is all you got to do is offer a canine a treat and they'll sit. Offer a canine a treat and they'll come. This is the humiliation of it all. And that's the reason why some of you all are being called bones and biscuits, because you're selling your own people out for individual pleasures. And it's not even substantive. And they're comparing her to Dr. Martin Luther King. This is a spit in our face, family. She got no concessions. She got no promises. And we did all of this to put somebody as a member of the dominant society in power over us. They're ruling over us. And we didn't even get any kind of agreement ahead of time. That's insanity. It's the mark of a slave to do something for nothing, to do something without compensation. Are y'all hearing me? And then you've got these foreign Norwegians over here telling us, treating us like we're mere animals, and to just accept this little treat of incentivizing and credentialing her further by nominating her for a Nobel Peace Prize. Don't you guys find it strange when Dr. Martin Luther King was nominated and ultimately won the Nobel Peace Prize? They gave it to him pushing nonviolence. But even though the Black Panthers had their weapons legally, even though they fed hungry children in the morning time, thousands of hungry children, including white children if they were hungry, even though they had an ambulance service and they were giving Black folks legal knowledge before you knew of anybody by the name of some Miranda, they didn't find them worthy. They didn't find members of the Nation of Islam who didn't even carry weapons, who but believed in self-defense, who built a multi-million-dollar empire, teaching their own children in their own schools, doing international import-export business, turning criminals and who the world considered to be nobodies into somebodies, had a greater impact on the whole of Black society. They didn't consider the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, or anybody like that worthy. They incentivized people who settled for white supremacy and who did not demand ultimate justice, thus punishment against our oppressor. We're not going for this. If Stacy Abrams wants to go sit up and look herself down somewhere, we're not going for this. And anybody else of her ilk that would think we're just going to accept this and we can't see through this. Maybe there's a new breed of us rising up and we're demanding justice. I never advocate anybody to be reckless, anybody to violate the law, stuff like that. But the idea that you're going to sit back and accept white supremacy, you got to be out of your mind. Black family, my name is Vicki Dillard. Be sure to join my weekly mastermind at Clubvicki.com. You can join for the first month for $1. You can't beat that. There are unbelievable testimonies where I break down spiritual and metaphysical principles. For example, I talk about the spiritual force field of Joseph or the spiritual force field of David. I discuss the law of repetition and the benefits that can be gained thereby. It's amazing, the results and the testimonies. There's a direct correlation between your spiritual life and your natural life. Even if you can't join on Wednesday nights, that's where I am live, you can still participate and watch the uploads every single week whenever it's convenient for you. Join today, clubvicki.com. If you want something you never had, you've got to do something you've never done. Clubvicki.com. That's clubvicki.com. Also follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard.